Hello, my name is Ruth Burey. I'm a professional lead for learning and development at the Royal College of Nursing. My role involves supporting nurses and nursing in care homes, and I've been involved in producing and developing resources to support sensitive conversations and end-of-life care. This is a learning and reflective practice session that will support nursing decision-making when caring for patients and clients at the end of their life. This learning session is aimed at care home managers and leaders. It will focus on decision-making around do not attempt cardiopulmonary resuscitation or DNA CPR and end-of-life care. You may complete this session as an individual or in groups. By the end of the session, you, the participant, will have explored the experience of end-of-life care for patients, clients, families, and carers in their own setting. You will have explored leadership, accountability, and responsibility in nursing practice. You will have reflected on areas of good practice and areas where improvement is required. And you will have increased your awareness of resources to support decision-making at the end of life. This webinar will take approximately 45 minutes for you to complete. This reflective practice session will allow you to think about what you're doing well in practice and what needs to be even better. Number 1, think about, then write down an area of practice in end-of-life care that you are proud of, that you or your team does particularly well in caring for and supporting patients or clients at their end of life. Describe any evidence that you have that assures you that this is good practice. 2, write down a description of an area of practice in end-of-life care in your own setting that needs improvement. 3, describe the actions you need to take to address the area of practice described in number 2. If you are undertaking this exercise with others, discuss numbers 1, 2, and 3 and exchange good practice ideas. This is a 10-minute exercise that includes a film clip. Watch and listen to the 4-minute film clip entitled Ain't the Way to Die by clicking the link on the next slide. At the end of the film, make a note of at least 3 key points about the film's end-of-life care themes that stand out for you. You can click the link in the slide to access the film clip. The film clip is just over 4 minutes long. Undertake a discussion about the film clip. This should take you about 5 minutes. Take a few moments to exchange your thoughts about the film clip with any colleagues you may be working with. This next exercise takes approximately 20 minutes and includes a clinical scenario to help you explore particular challenges in practice. Carefully read through the case scenario on the next slide. Read through and discuss with colleagues the key questions on slide 9 in relation to the case scenario. Write down your responses to the key questions. The references on slide 10 will help to inform your discussion and responses. Make sure that you refer to any local and national policy guidance or other sources pertaining to end-of-life care and DNA CPR in your discussion and responses to the key questions. This is the case scenario. James, a registered nurse, is working at night in a care home for older people. During his rounds, James approaches Mr. Brown, a patient in bed who is clearly deceased. Mr. Brown is 92 and has advanced dementia. He is frail, bedbound, and has a number of chronic medical problems. Mr. Brown has been at the care home for a number of months. James observes that Mr. Brown has clearly been deceased for some time. James is competent in verification of death and makes a clinical assessment. He does not initiate cardiopulmonary resuscitation, as in his professional judgment and assessment, this would be futile. There are no do not resuscitate orders in place for Mr. Brown. There is no evidence of an end-of-life care discussion or care plan in Mr. Brown's records. In a timely manner, James informs the care home manager and nurse lead, as well as Mr. Brown's relatives and the police, of Mr. Brown's death. Mr. Brown's relatives are supportive of Nurse James's decision-making and rationale. They are relieved that Mr. Brown was able to pass away with dignity and are grateful to James. The police are satisfied that there is no follow-up necessary by them. The key questions for you to consider are as follows. Number 1. As the nurse leader or manager of the care home in which this incident takes place, what concerns are raised for you in the scenario? Number 2. Outline your accountability and responsibilities in this scenario in relation to Mr. Brown and his family, other patients and relatives in your care, James, your nursing staff and the multidisciplinary team, those to whom you directly report, regulatory bodies, and any others. Number 3. How might your future practice change as a result of your learning from this incident? Here are some important references and resources to support nursing practice in DNA CPR and end-of-life care. They include the RCN BMA Joint Statement on CPR, the NMC RCN Joint Statement on Decisions Relating to CPR, the Resuscitation Council UK Decision Relating to CPR document, the Resuscitation Council UK Respect document, the Human Rights Article 3 webpage, the RCN End-of-Life Care web pages, and the recent National Audit on End-of-Life Care. This reflective practice exercise may count towards evidence of your continuous professional development for your Nursing and Midwifery Council revalidation. This written reflective account takes 10 minutes. Use the NMC reflective practice template to record and reflect on your learning, including how it will inform your future practice. See the NMC revalidation guidance and the NMC code 2018. Well done, you have now completed this learning session. There are additional resources to support your practice on the next slide. Do make some time to have a look at these additional useful resources. They include the RCN Pain and Palliative Care Forum website, the RCN Care Home Subject Guide, which includes a link to the RCN Care Home Journey resource and a link to the Older People's Forum. Also see the RCN Principles of Nursing Practice pages. I hope that you have enjoyed this webinar and found it useful. Do continue to develop your nursing practice and take a look at the range of resources that were signposted to you throughout the webinar. Thank you.